Well, hello guys, and welcome back to another Steven Universe review. In this episode, we're taking a look at Season 1, Episode 39, The Test. I'm gonna be honest, I love this episode. This is one of my favorites. It's a really good episode, and I don't expect it. The way the episode's framed, I don't think it's gonna be that great, but then I just keep re-watching it because it's so good. I love the character development it does for Steven and for the gyms. It's one of my favorite character development moments in the first season. Well, let's get into it. It starts off with them playing a German board game, Kitchen Calamity. I love how even the name's misspelled in the instructions. That's great. And somehow Steven wins. The board game makes no sense. That's the joke. And while going through his other board games, which, we all lost the pieces, right? Like, we can all relate to that. Oh god, what was the name? What was it? Kerplunk? Or, what was the one where you had to put the yellow shapes into the board, and you had like a time limit, and if you didn't, it popped out? I don't care, don't at me, but I lost so many pieces to that one. But he finds the Sea Spire statue, remember, from like the third or fourth episode? Yeah, well, that's here again. Or God, was that may have been the sixth episode now that I think about it. I'm really bad with some of the early episodes. But Steven learns that the Sea Spire statue was a test, right? The reason they did it was because the Sea Spire wasn't actually very valuable, and they saw it as a perfect opportunity to give him a test, and he failed. So Steven freaks out, and yeah, it's really interesting. It really does put that episode into new perspective. I do like that he found the statue after all this time. It's a good callback, and it's good character development. Yeah, it does make sense that it was a test. And it makes sense because it was such an early on episode. But Steven wants a new test because he failed the last one, even though he got like a 75%, which is what, a C here in America? It's probably an A in the UK, because their grading system's like that. So they give him another test. He's going to go through each of like 3 rooms, each created by one of the gyms. And yeah, no, it's not a bad premise for an episode at all. I like each of the gyms have a different chamber, and just the way it's set up, because it's just a test, right? There's no real stakes, and as we see, there really are no stakes. We see Amethyst Room, which Amethyst Rooms follows that stereotypical style of it looks bigger, because we see it on the outside later, and it looks a lot smaller than it actually is. But this entire thing reminds me of like a Zelda dungeon that you'd see. Yeah, okay, it's a cool design. There are some cool rooms. I like the boulder chase scene. That's really good. He slides a rope at the end. Yeah, sure, cool. Indiana Jones. Yeah, nice aesthetic. We get into Pearl's room, which is all sleek, and it's got a music puzzle and swinging blades. Yeah, the music puzzle totally makes sense for Pearl. I like how each of these are themed, because then we get into the next room and it's Garnet's puzzle. It's lava, fire, also themed to her, because she has fire, right? And electricity? Right? It makes sense either way. But while Steven's going through, he almost gets crushed by spikes, because the trap had no indication that it was there. It's a poorly designed trap, in my opinion. All the other ones have clear, like, notifications. You can clearly tell the timing of them. This one, however, isn't. He was clearly supposed to dodge roll out of it, but meh. So the spikes don't crush him, and he learns that they can't. He walks into the fire. It's not designed to hurt him. It does. The one that annoys me is the music puzzle. I mean, you could have just made a music puzzle, because he hits the same 4 buttons twice and it still activates the thing. That's kind of disappointing, right? Like, at least that one should have been real, because that's almost impossible to fail, honestly. A music puzzle as simple as that, because all these challenges, with exception of the spikes, which had no telegraphing, are very simple. He finds out the boulder's fake, the rope jump isn't even real, and eventually he's able to clip out of the boundaries. Remember doing that back in old games? Oh my god, that was so much fun. But it really does a good job at capturing the video game vibe. I like the clipping. I like how you can see the traps outside of the boundaries. But he overhears a conversation of the gyms, and they don't know what to do, right? They're talking about, oh, he's gained these powers, he's been able to summon the shield, but he lost his healing powers. They don't know how to raise Steven, because nothing like Steven's existed, because he's a human gym fusion, and they're bad at it. Yeah, no, it's... Admitting your fault is a strong character moment. It makes all three of the characters stronger in this moment. I love it. I love how this is executed. And Steven's angry at them, right? Because the entire test is rigged. As he goes back through, he's angry. And as he's walking back, I don't normally comment on the score because I don't really recognize music in shows and video games. The way I always put it is if I don't recognize it, it's usually solid. But when I do recognize it, that means it's either really bad or really good. And the score of Steven walking back through all the traps and all that is really good. This is it matches the scene perfectly. It matches his anger. I think they did a great job with the score here. And it's all building towards him confronting the gyms. Great job. And the gyms all congratulate him, and he goes up and it's like, oh, he's gonna tell them off, right? Because he's learned all of that. Nope, misdirection, Steven's still a cinnamon bun, and he's like, that test was so hard, thank you guys for giving it to me, I really need that. He turned the tables on them, and well, you could argue he kind of got a confidence boost. He gave the gyms a confidence boost instead. And that's why the episode succeeds. Because, yeah, he could have gone off on them, totally. And I probably would have bought that as well. But the fact that he doesn't makes it stronger. The fact that he's so mature now. When the first episode, he was just a stupid kid who wanted ice cream. But now he's able to recognize this. He's able to recognize the shortcomings, right? He's able to see that his guardians need it as much as he thought he needed it at the beginning of the episode. That's what makes this episode work. That's why this is one of my favorites. This ending scene, it's so amazing. I love it so much. And yeah, that's the episode. It's great. The test, man, I didn't expect it, but it's really solid. One of my favorites. And yeah, next time... Oh god, is Rosa Scabbard next? Shit. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.